Hi guys, this is Kim from Kim's Vintage Obsessions, and I'm back today with a new video. It is finally Thanksgiving break, and I finally have time to make some new content for you guys. So yesterday was the Eastern National Antique Show and Sale in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, and my parents and I got to go spend a few hours there, meet a couple of really cool people, and learn so much. I was able to get a lot of footage, and I put it together in a video for you guys, so without further ado, let's get into it. So the Eastern National Antique Show and Sale occurred on November 18th and 19th at the Carlisle Expo Center. There were a lot of advertisements for glass clubs, for other shows, other sales. If anyone is interested, you can just pause the video on any of the flyers that I took a picture of here. I am definitely planning on attending at least some of them, and I'm considering joining a glass club because how cool would it be to hang out with a lot of you guys that know so much about glass and can teach me so much about my favorite hobby. So just pause the video, take a screenshot if you need. I feel like it'd be nice to advertise them on here. I'd like to thank you guys for 275 subscribers. That's shocking and exciting, and you guys are so nice in the comment section, always giving me tips and being so encouraging and supportive, and I just want to say that I really appreciate it. So to get into it here, look at the cut to clear examples of those goblets there. I will say, prices wise at this glass show, if you guys remember from one of my past videos, I did call a section of the antique store the Rodeo Drive because a lot of those glass pieces were thousands of dollars. So I would say price wise, a lot of these pieces were in the hundreds, 400, 500. So to me, definitely unattainable, but I absolutely loved getting to go and look at them. For instance, you can see here the price is $3,495 for that dressing table set. It definitely is beautiful, and I have no doubt that it's rare and hard to come by. I mean, look at the craftsmanship and the hand painting on it. You can see here, this is Heisey Alexandrite, which is colored with the element neodymium, which is also used in neodymium magnets, if anyone has ever heard of those in the engineering world. But the cool thing about Alexandrite is it looks purple under indoor lighting, LEDs, incandescent, but if you take it outside, it does shift to be blue, much like the Alexandrite stone, which goes from purple to green, hence its name. So a lot of these pieces were stunning. That piece there is a flower vase and those little flutes. My dad called them Jack in the Pulpit style. He's learning a lot too from watching The Lamp Lady. And it's stunning. You just put flowers in the top there, you put flowers on the bottom. You can make a really creative and large arrangement with not as many flowers due to its vertical height. You can see here so much Vaseline glass. Something that was cool for me was spotting some of the pieces that I have in my collection here that I've acquired either from thrift stores or from family or friends, either for free or for like $3. And it's there and it's priced for $70, $100, sometimes even more. Look at this punch set. I thought it was a little unique because the punch cups looked more like mugs than they did actual little tiny cups, like teacup shaped. And so I thought that would be perfect for eggnog at Christmas. I do think that is what the seller was going for, if you can see the red and the green there, trying to get people to think about what they want their Christmas displays to look like. Absolutely love when sellers put effort into it like that. Just really gets your brain thinking about how you want your table to look. This purple and gold was stunning. You can see the set there was $335. So once again, you're almost afraid to even touch a lot of this stuff because of how valuable it is and how special it is. That there, daisies. I adore daisies. In one of my other videos, I got a brooch with a daisy on it. That's similar colors to that, and I absolutely love it. Wear it frequently. These are pieces, I did talk to a lot of the sellers, and they do get them at estate sales. So a lot of people, when they pass away, they have estate sales at their houses to try and gain value from the remaining belongings. And a lot of this stuff is bought for so cheap by resellers, and then they, figure out how special it is. And so to me, it's kind of sad to think that someone kept a lot of these pieces so pristine, so special, just for it to be sold for pennies on the dollar. These pickle casters were stunning. They are the most beautiful examples that I've seen. I've only seen a few in the wild, quote unquote, and they were clear. This here, little tiny spoons. How cute are they? They were solid silver, and those go for your salt dippers that you put on the table. This was an interesting shape. I think it's a fly. And these are the salt wells. Look at those examples, the hand craftsmanship. A lot of these are from the late 1800s, early 1900s, and so I just wonder sometimes, why don't people make things like this anymore with the special ruffles and colors and hand touches? A lot of it's just so factory cut and stamped, made so fast that it loses a lot of the beauty. So that's definitely something special about antique glass. Here is stretch glass, and thanks to one of the commenters, I learned that one of my sherbet dishes is stretch glass, and it's actually in this color. I was wondering why that sherbet that I owned was the most expensive one. I paid $15 for it, and it was just so beautiful. I was like, it's worth it. But I get why now. It's stretch glass, and it was so cool to see a lot of this here. There is a stretch glass society, if any of you are interested in joining. I definitely need to learn a lot more about it. I like the onion skin like texture and iridescence on the outside. Look at this piece here with the uranium stems on the bottom, and they did have a blacklight setup, which I like when they do that too. Really gives it the wow factor. Here's some more stretch glass in the Vaseline color, and then there's red. The colors were breathtaking. A lot of this stuff I have never seen in antique stores. I've never seen it, certainly not at Goodwill or Community Aid or any of the other thrift stores that I've been to. But it is just exciting to see all of it. I mean, look at the hand painting, the gilding, the enameling on these pieces. Just hours of workmanship. Something that caught my eye is this here. That's cranberry flashed uranium, and it was cut to uranium instead of cut to clear. I remember when I went to the world's largest uranium glass museum, the curator of that collection had so much of that, and that was his favorite thing to buy, and he actually recommended that I come to this glass show because this is where he sources his stuff. And what I'm touching there is a bedside carafe with a glass that goes on top. You fill it with water so that you don't need to get up to get a glass of water in the middle of the night. You just reach over and pour it. Here is yet another tea berry gum stand in Vaseline glass. You know that I spot those at least in 2 other stores. I was looking for Mr. Peanut merch, but I don't think he made the class. And yes, I have this bonbon dish. I use it to hold my jewelry as a little bit of a trinket tray in my room. I am planning on doing a video of the room of a glass collector, so you can see all of the unique and special ways that I repurpose a lot of my glass to make it something that I look at, use, and touch on a daily basis. So just a lot of beautiful examples of Vaseline glass, cranberry glass. I did notice that cranberry and Vaseline are paired together quite frequently, and I can see why. They complement each other so well. The colors bring out the highlights of the other colors. Here was another really cool daisy pitcher set. It was in blue instead of green. I don't know what it is with daisies, just love it. Here's some tall and funky candlesticks. And candlesticks galore. When I was looking for a set of candlesticks, I had the hardest time finding ones that I liked. But here, they're not in short supply. They have tall ones, short ones, ones with chandelier crystals, absolutely stunning. This booth, the carnival glass. And you can tell a lot of this is old carnival glass. And something interesting that I learned about plate design is a lot of these plates are called cabinet plates, which means that they're going to sit upright in your china cabinet or your china closet and be a decorative piece. And the way that you can tell the difference between something that you eat off of and a cabinet plate is if it has a design in the center of it, if it's raised, if it's elevated. If you look at it and you think this would be really hard to clean, then you can be rest assured that that is a cabinet plate. This here is an example of what we call sun purple. So early American pattern glass was made clear with the periodic element manganese, which manganese in large quantities is used to make amethyst or purple glass. And if you leave your piece out in the sun for too long, if you leave your piece in the sun, it will turn purple because the radiation will react with the manganese and bring out the purple tint. So that's what we call sun purple, and it does significantly diminish the value of your pieces. So please make sure if you have your beautiful clear glass stored somewhere, make sure it's not in the sun, as it will turn purple permanently, and there's no reversing of that. Look at this little penguin paperweight. I thought that the crazy lamp lady would like that. I know she really likes Murano glass and animal figurines. The dealer at this specific booth, he also is a very big player at the Renegers Antique Market on Sundays in Adamstown. He has very large booths there, and we got to talking to him, and he was telling us about the specialness of some of his pieces, and he told us to go check him out at Renegers, and so I recommend that you guys do the same. He has a lot of old glass, a lot of really beautiful carnival glass, stuff that I've never seen before, and colors that I did not think were possible. And so if you have never been to a glass show like this, I recommend going so that you can have your mind blown by the beautiful craftsmanship of a lot of these pieces. And I thought these were so neat. The dealer told me that these are French. I've never seen anything like it. It looks like a wisp of pearl. It looks like it's carved out of mother of pearl. And he said that he had a total of 6 of them, and I might have splurged for them if there were 8. Here is a glass rolling pin. I love seeing these. I've seen some modern ones that have the ability to fill them with rice or beans or something to make it heavier for when you're rolling. A lot of satinized glass here, a lot of unique pieces. You can see the candlesticks with the hand-wrapped glass around it. And these bookends, I thought that they looked like ice cubes. I thought they'd be really cool if you have a bookshelf. This was special because this is a Master Berry set, and they're rectangles. How cool is that? I have never seen a square rectangular berry set before, and I think I saw a total of maybe 5 or 6 of them at the store. This one's peppermint striped. Absolutely stunning. Looks like it was $145. Imagine that for Christmas time. You could put a berries or a fruit salad in it. A lot of times you're coming here and you're looking at these pieces and your mind's just churning on how you can use some of your pieces at home. Here again is another example of cranberry and Vaseline. It's $395. I know that that's something that the uranium glass collector would be interested in because he absolutely loved the cranberry Vaseline mix. Here's another berry set. How stunning is that? Just imagine that in your cabinet. It's a showstopper piece for sure. I love the gold gilding. Look at all of these stunning oil and vinegar cruets, and this cranberry glass. You can see a beautiful example of hobnail cranberry. For $495, you can have this pitcher with 6 cups. Something about butter dishes, you can see a lot of those round ones there. I never understood because the butter that we always buy and use comes in a stick, and I've never seen round butter. Maybe they used to have it that way, or it would maybe be a ball of butter. I'm not sure, but if any of you knows, please let me know in the comments. I am very fascinated and interested to learn. This stunning Amberina set here features something called ice cream dishes. And I know I mentioned before, it's absolutely shocking how every kind of food has its own dish. So this here is a shallow bowl used to catch your ice cream drippings when you're eating it and it's melting on you. Here's some stretch glass. That is the sherbet dish that I own. And we have some aqua stemmed pink glassware, probably from the 1920s. It's beautiful, and this is a almond dish. I didn't know. I would have thought that it'd be a salt well. It is an almond dish, so I'm assuming that now not only do you have your own salt, your own pepper, your own everything, but you have your own little dish with a few almonds. Personally, I think I would use it for jelly beans at Easter. I would give everybody their own little dish full of jelly beans, so that's definitely on the list for things I want to look for, and maybe I will have them by the springtime so that I can do that. These were really cool. They're hollow stem champagne flutes, which I was questioning, does that take away the purpose of having a stemmed glassware because you're supposed to not heat up your drink? But I do think it'd be cool to see the champagne bubbling all the way down in the stem, although that would probably be a nightmare to clean. You'd have to get a Q-tip down there and scrub out the leftover residue. So I definitely don't want to be around when we're doing dishes if those are used at the party. You can see here some satinized American Fostoria napkin rings. I do have a beautiful set of napkin rings already. I got a set of 8 for $8. The Lord was definitely shining down on me that day because I have very rarely come across glass napkin rings. Over here we have a shrimp and cocktail sauce serving tray here. I have never seen one of these. I did not know that that's what it had been used for. Here we have another Domino sugar cube tray. I think these are from probably the 1910s to the 1920s. How cool is that? I personally love sugar cubes when I was a kid. My dad used to make my brother and I coffee, and he'd put an absurd amount of sugar cubes in it, of course. My brother and I wouldn't drink the coffee, but we just dipped donuts in it to get that like soggy donut taste. Still my favorite thing to have for breakfast. Here we have some really cute, very vibrant blue salt wells with matching blue tiny shovels. It's so interactive and fun. I hope maybe one day I can have a set of those. Just imagine sitting down to a table and you have things like that to play with. You definitely would not get bored with the dinner conversation if you can just shovel around your salt. Up here we have some more stunning etched and hand-cut crystalware, crystal champagne glasses, and here is hand-painted amethyst glass. I do remember hearing from someone that if you see that white hand painting like that is probably Czechoslovakian. If someone could confirm that for me, that would be great. And here we have little dumbbells for when you feel like you need to work off dessert at the dinner table. Just kidding, those are those chunky knife rests that I'm always complaining about because I just do not have the table space to accommodate that and an almond dish and a salt well, and the list goes on. Look at that cool lamp there, a lot of the cool enameling, gold gilding. This was a really beautiful iridescent rainbow finish. Here we have hat pins, so many different beautiful kinds of hat pins. I don't ever see this many. I don't actually own any hat pins because I don't wear hats very often, but they're a cool concept. Here we have some more almond dishes, but these ones were labeled as likely being Murano. And I know that the crazy lamp lady loves Murano glass, so I gave them a look. Here we have some purple and white slag glass. This booth was by a fellow that was from Illinois, and what you see here is a pickler, but it's interactive, and those wheels turn. This will drive across the table. He called it Toys for the Table. And this here is a napkin ring so that everybody at the table would have their own napkin ring engraved with their name with their own personal salt and pepper shaker. Again, how big were these tables in the 1800s? I cannot begin to fathom the amount of wood it would take to make a table that big. And as you can see here, we have some glass truffles, and they look real. These are glass Christmas cookies, glass cupcakes. I was told that there's a pair of sisters out in California that make these things. I mean, look at this one. It looks like a bite was taken out of it, and you can't exactly take a bite out of hot glass, so the creativity is just shocking. And there were these glass Christmas trees for sale. They're so sparkly, especially that gold one there, and the iridized pink one definitely had my heart. I would love to have a house one day decorated with all that. Look at this stemware set with the punch bowl. Just stunning. It looks so delicate, so slim. It's hard to imagine that a lot of this stuff stands the test of time. Here I did have a sighting of some Caribbean wave, and everyone knows here that Caribbean is my favorite pattern. Here were some $150 cake stands, but I can understand it. I have very rarely seen colored glass cake stands. They were so beautiful, and they would definitely be the centerpiece of a tea if you were to have like a nice cheesecake on top of one of them. And here's another red American Fostoria punch set, and we found a fairy lamp, and it wasn't amber or clear. It was a blue one. We have some more rolling pins. My dad said that these ones make him dizzy because of the pattern, which was kind of funny. And we have a $2 million glass piece here. I don't know if they were trying to be funny, if they were joking. I couldn't ask them about it because they probably went to go eat lunch by this point, but I thought that was funny. My dad's the one that saw that first. You can see here some more odds and ends. There's some Cambridge glass there. I know that because I've been to the museum and they had a lot of that on display. We have a nice cocktail shaker, with some whiskey glasses. I have this platter in clear, so it was cool to see it in that vibrant orange color. Going around here, you can see some greens, some blues, clears, more stunning candlesticks, baskets. And my dad told me about this. If you see a cake dish with holes around the outside, it's for your candles. So instead of putting your candles on your cake, you put them around the cake dish, which is actually smart in my opinion, because then you're not messing up the icing on top and you don't have to worry about eating dripped wax. I don't know why we still don't do that, because that was genius in my mind. You can see some yellow accented pieces. These were beautiful. I love candlesticks with the chandelier crystals. I do have a set in the Caribbean pattern, and they're my prized possession. I bring them out for any and all special occasions. Here you can see more Cambridge in that ice blue color. I thought this was cool, a unique design with that little dangling crystal there. And Caribbean. I will say I much prefer Caribbean in clear with some of the accent handle colors. I'm not too much of a fan of that ice blue color, but nonetheless, I love coming across Caribbean. And you can see there, those candlesticks with the blue prisms. I learned that a lot of times when you see colored prisms, they were added at a later date, as you can see here. You can get them on Etsy. So it is time for arguably my favorite part of the video. It is haul time. So my two special items that I was able to pick up from the glass show and the stories behind them. First and foremost, we have a 1920s Heisey Moon Gleam. That's the name of the color, is Moon Gleam. And this is a celery dish. And personally, I already have one in pink. This is called Flamingo Pink, also by Heisey, also from the 1920s. I use this at my family. We use this for asparagus. Asparagus is my favorite vegetable. I love it roasted or, like broiled almost to the point where it's like a little too charred. I like it crispy with olive oil, pepper, and salt. Delicious. And it fits perfectly in this dish. So I saw this one, knew I had to have it, so now I have two. Maybe I will actually use it for celery. So something that I learned yesterday was that this is a celery shape. I did not know that. I actually do have the more traditional celery. I got this at a little hole-in-the-wall antique store. I don't remember the name, but I did do a little bit of research. I can't find this specific one, but I do think this is from the late 1800s. Celery used to be like a delicacy. It used to be a privilege to have celery. Now people get annoyed with celery because it's healthy and it's just crunchy water, and a lot of people don't like the strings in it. I personally love celery. I like it with hot wings and with blue cheese or ranch dressing. I'm a big celery fan. But now I guess I technically have three celeries, although these will still be my beloved asparagus dishes. I thought something cool that I learned about the colors behind Heisey glass is, so there was the man that started up Heisey, he passed away in 1922, and his son took over the glass company, the glass factory, and he's the son is responsible for all of these fun new colors. He brought out originally their pastels, which we have the Flamingo Pink and the Moon Gleam. Fun fact, Moon Gleam is inspired off of the glint of the moon on the ocean. So this is not uranium glass. I'm thinking that the green probably comes from iron oxide, which was a color used to make your deeper forest green, but it is not fluorescent. This doesn't fluoresce, although you would think it would by how vibrant that green is. So yeah, I just love looking into the history behind the glass pieces that I get, and the fact that the son took over the plant, rolled out all of these new colors. Eventually he got into your jewel tones, so your cobalt, your emerald, your ruby. But for a while there in the 20s when he first took over, it was pastels. And my second and probably one of my most prized possessions actually came from the Duncan Miller Museum. There were a few ladies there that were representing them from Washington, Pennsylvania. I think that is my favorite glass museum. I totally recommend if you guys can go out there and visit. Those ladies are so knowledgeable. They're so nice. They had a booth there representing the museum, and they weren't selling glass, but they were selling literature. So they did have some published books, and this one is the one that I decided on getting. It is the 1938 Original Product Catalog, donated to the Glass Museum from Robert May, who was the designer at the time. And you can see here, I will do another video going through this, but this is the catalog, and it did come with a price guide about like what approximately these pieces are worth. But the reason that I got this particular book is because Caribbean is my favorite pattern, as many of you already know, and the complete listing of the Caribbean pieces can be found in this catalog. So I am unable to find any of this information online. I did get it in this book. I was over the moon excited to be able to have a complete listing of all the pieces made. Unfortunately, when it does come to getting things like this, you will find that some of the pieces that you had that you maybe thought were that pattern are not actually that pattern. So I did spend the last few years piecing together a set of stunning salad bowls, which are actually candy dishes, but they look better as salad bowls, and that's how I use them. And they're not in the catalog, and I thought they were Caribbean Wave this whole time, but they're not, and that's okay. I still love them. I'm still going to use them with my Caribbean Wave stuff, but this is just a gem. This is a gem, and if anybody is into glass literature, I recommend going to this glass show. There were so many books there, so many catalogs, things that you won't get unless you're talking to the people that you know, keep these museums alive and keep them floating, and, you know, volunteer their time to do stuff like this. So once again, I recommend going to the Eastern National Glass Show. The next viewing of this is in May, on May 5th and 6th. So they have it twice a year. I totally recommend going. You will learn a lot, you'll meet a lot of really cool people, and you'll see a lot of things that you would not see out in the wild. So anyways, this is Kim from Kim's Vintage Obsessions, and I absolutely love bringing you a new video to you guys. I'm excited to roll out some new videos this week since it's Thanksgiving break, and I will catch you guys later. Bye!